Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is Glossy Philosophy. My name is Jansen Binman. Today we are doing something really fun. I recently got my Elle catalog and I noticed the makeup right away on the front cover, and then by the time I was done reading, I noticed that it was very similar to the Fendi campaign. So I thought this is a trend that is going to be happening. Maybe not this dramatic for every day, but sometimes I think it's really great to start there and then ease off as the weeks go on and really explore that. So today we are doing more of the Fendi campaign, more of the front cover makeup, and just going for it. So stay tuned. Because we are doing something a little bit more avant-garde today, I've decided to already wash my face, do my skincare, and prep my face the way I do in almost every single video. So I've put my eyeshadow primer on, I've done my brows, and I've put on a tinted moisturizer by Eldridge. Why did I do that instead of a regular foundation? Because when I'm looking at pictures like this, the cover of Elle, and also the Fendi campaign, I really wanted to make sure that the skin kind of remained looking like skin and didn't look too foundation-y, because I think it's this nice balance between going a little bit more avant-garde on the eyes, a little bit more natural on the skin. So going with something a little bit sheer, a little bit thinner of a formula, like the skin tint from Eldridge, is a great way to kind of balance that out. Is this a wearable look? That's up to you. Maybe for a date night, or if you're going to see a really fun musical at night, or you're going to an art museum or an art gallery, absolutely. For pickup on a Monday morning, maybe not. So let's get started. All we have to do are the eyes and the lips. And I know it's hard to see in this picture, so I'm just gonna flip it over. These are slightly different looks, but I was mesmerized that on the front and back cover we have almost the exact same look. We have a very dark graphic eye with only what looks like only one shadow or one element on the eye. And then we have a very barely there lip with just a nice skin kind of balancing out the heaviness of the eye. Now, on the back cover for the Fendi, we are absolutely exaggerating even more than we are on the cover. And if you have the Elle magazine, you can see the makeup up close a little bit more. So we are going to do something kind of in between. In the cover story, they're kind of following the lower lash line up, but they're tilting it up even more. They're really exaggerating that angle, and in the Fendi they are kind of making it a little bit of a softer, not quite so sharp. So I would play around. If you want to do this look, I would play around, see what fits your face a little bit better. For me, I think I do want to go a little bit more graphic just to really get those angles going on, and then I'm going to do a little bit of a liquid contour from Charlotte Tilbury as well. So whenever you're doing something more avant-garde for the first time, or maybe it's just been a while, I would absolutely start with a shadow. So even though it is black on the eye, I'm going to start with a brown, because brown is easier to wipe away on the face. Pick something a little bit darker than your skin tone if you can, and then you can go back in with your black eyeshadow and maybe even with some black liner. So we are going to start with charcoal brown and just kind of map it out a little bit. I'm going to use my angled brush, and I'm just going to find that good angle. So we are exaggerating the angle quite a bit. We're going to tilt it up much more than we generally would. We're going to leave a little bit of a space between the end of the brow and where the line is going to stop, but not too much. And on both of these looks, the entire lid is covered, and it's also brought just above the crease. So for me and my eye shape, in order to get a little bit more of the shape that we're going for, I'm actually going to cut into that line a little bit more so that it becomes a bigger wing. And then I know that this whole area is going to be covered, and we'll probably bring up our black shadow even higher than we would normally, because even though it's very dark and very graphic, it's also quite symmetrical, and it follows the lines of the face. So I haven't put on any concealer. I've only done my corrector, and it's basically just to get rid of any discoloration so that I'm not distracted as I'm kind of mapping out this shape on the eye. So we have a really nice shape. We've kind of flattened it out a little bit. I can't flatten it out too much more, otherwise it would look a little too severe, I think, for me. So we're gonna start with this, and I'm actually going to put down this brown shade with my 203. So again, that's charcoal brown, and I'm just gonna lay that down all over the lid, and then we'll go back in with the black. If you have a cream shadow in these colors, that would be incredible. Something like Bark from Bobbi Brown, that cream shadow has seen me through a lot of tutorials like this, or a lot of makeup looks like this. It's just a really beautiful dark chocolatey brown. It's actually pretty similar to the charcoal brown, but it's a little bit more red. What we need to do is bring this line out a little bit more, because it's getting a little bit too rounded if I'm looking at our picture for inspiration. So we need to flatten that out just a bit. It's almost warrior-like to me a little bit, which I really kind of love right now. I love that inspiration for women anytime, but it feels very relevant right now. We don't need to clean it up too much because we are going to be going in with the black. And I'm actually going to bring this brown up even more and make that just feel a little bit more of a line rather than doing so much curve. So we'll do the same thing on the other side, and then we'll go in with the black. Okay, we have our basic shape. Now it's time to fill it in with the black. I'm going to go back in with my 203 into Carbon, which is another MAC shadow. It is very potent, and I'm hoping that it will grip on very nicely to the charcoal brown. In the photographs, it looks like a very intense, saturated, deep black. So that is what we are going for. Going in with my angled brush and just finishing off that shape. So now we have our shape, and now we are ready to add just a little bit. I'm going to go in with Victoria Beckham's Satin Kajal Liner and just go right up against my eye and see if that doesn't add another element of texture and just another element of depth. This will also allow me to get right up next to my eye in a way that putting on powder can be really tricky. So now I'm ready for mascara and to kind of finish off the rest of my face. I'm going to start with the Tarte Primer just to really amp up those lashes against the intense black eyeshadow. Just like how we do that with our home, just like how we do that with our outfits, it's the same in makeup. You want different textures on the face to create dimension. Unless you're trying to flatten out your face and then you just do the exact same texture the whole time, or the same finish is another way to think about it. Going in with Tarte's Lights Camera Lashes. And now I'm going to jump to my lips and then finish off with the complexion. So because the lips are very neutral, I do want to do some kind of a lip pencil, and this is in one of Lisa Eldridge's lip sculpting pencils in 1C. I'm going to apply it the same way I would with a red or an orange or any other color. I'm going to do my Cupid's bow first. And just kind of start to fill in. And you can see that this is almost the same color as my natural lip color. So now I'm going to go in with Epanoui, which is basically a balm. And then we're going to finish off with the complexion because we need something, we need to create a little bit more dimension. So first I'm going to go in with my concealer from Giorgio Armani, split it between my ring fingers, give a little bit of that lift to the face, and then also give a little bit of dimension underneath my cheekbones. So I'm just going to blend that out with my fingers really quickly. And then go in with the Charlotte Tilbury contouring, draw a few lines right there, and then also just on the side of my face, anywhere where I would put bronzer normally. And I always like to start around the outer parts of my face. It just kind of gets, it helps me understand the pressure that I need to use on the Beauty Blender so that I'm not wiping away that dimension that we're going to get with our cheekbone. And I'm just using the side of it, and I'm going in the same motion that I would with a brush. I'm just doing long ovals over and over and over again. And I'm going up so that I'm lifting the face as well. And you can see that just gives a little bit of extra dimension, a little bit of lift to the cheeks. So because we've worked with a cream contour, I want to make sure that I'm using my Givenchy powder instead of my Chanel powder because I don't want to add another layer of color to the face. I just want to set everything. I also want the skin to look like skin, so I want some of my natural glow to kind of shine through, and the Chanel will really mattify everything. So that is the finished look. Thank you guys so much for watching this. I love stepping outside the box every once in a while and pushing myself artistically, and also being able to take something like the Fendi campaign or a cover and start there, and then maybe next week or the week after take this idea and make it a little bit more wearable. So stay tuned for that. I do fashion videos every Wednesday, beauty videos every Friday. Make sure you are following me on Instagram and watching the shorts in between for lots of outfit inspiration, lots of befores and after to make your life a little bit easier and a little bit more glossy. And I will see you very soon in the next one. Bye.